As a program of the Wild Trust, Wildlands champions the conservation and restoration of terrestrial biodiversity, wildlife, and habitats in partnership with local communities, government, and other stakeholders. We work at the interface of where people and nature connect. One of these places is Dartmoor. When you walk across Dartmoor, you realize that this is no ordinary mosaic of wetland and grassland. It's a living archive, a landscape that's been shaping itself for millions of years.
Dartmoor is one of the few large, healthy, intact wetlands that we still find in South Africa, supporting a wealth of biodiversity. With wetlands facing increasing threats across the country and the world, places like Dartmoor are critical to conserving these wetland species like the wattled crane and long-toed tree frog.
Wetlands like Dartmoor are nature's water banks, purifying and releasing water slowly to entire catchments such as Tugela and Umgeni rivers.
BirdLife South Africa is looking to work with Wild Trust, Ikezon Wildlife, Mondi and various private landowners in the Carkloof area to better understand and conserve the wetlands on their property. This may look like trying to implement some of our wetland management guidelines, as well as trying to implement some of our management tools that we've developed, like wildlife-friendly fencing. We're also wanting to help coordinate the grazing and burning of wetlands across all these different landowner groups so that we have holistic management of our wetlands rather than managing these wetlands in isolation.
Dartmoor and the origin of the catchment that feeds Greater eThekwini, around 800 hectares, is just one piece of a much larger story. The Carkloof Nature Reserve. It's a landscape shaped by families like the Hancocks who have farmed, conserved and cared for the valleys since 1983 and were instrumental in its declaration. In 2009, the then Wildlands Conservation Trust, now known as Wild Trust, purchased the Dartmoor farm and started with active restoration of the vlei and grasslands with a team of local community members.
That's the power of partnership. When private landowners, the state, and conservation NGOs work together, a patchwork of individual properties become a single living system. Still, protecting a landscape like this requires more than passion. It requires structure.
In order to move forward in terms of a good, sound management structure, I think there's two options. The first is what is referred to as joint management, where in a protected area with multiple landowners, the idea is that all those landowners are associated together into a landowners association. That landowners association is then assigned as the management authority, and then the roles and responsibilities of the other landowners are defined through that landowners association. The second option is what we refer to as co-management, and that's formally defined within the Protected Areas Act. And so co-management is multiple parties managing the same piece of land. So in terms of the Carkloof Nature Reserve with multiple landowners, this is probably the most rigorous and effective in terms of achieving good, effective management and then the management of the biodiversity values of the protected area.
Our purpose is to establish a landscape partnership, a coalition of all stakeholders who depend on, benefit from, or impact the Carkloof landscape. As we grow our role in the Carkloof, it's important to acknowledge the state's role in protecting this landscape for our country.
Our relationship with Wild Trust does not end with this Carkloof. Also, it's got other significance in other spaces, including the marine species. And we've sort of relied on them so much because of a limited budget that comes from government. So we have that standing relationship, and us going into this relationship again on the Carkloof is very significant in the sense that it's a flagship project where we believe that going forward, we're going to have so many lessons that we're going to learn, not only for ourselves, but in other areas and outside our provinces as well, that people can look up to this project and see how collaborative learning and how co-management can work with the NGOs.
But at its heart, conservation isn't just about landscapes. It's about people. The success of Dartmoor depends on those who live and work here every day, restoring wetlands, removing invasives, and protecting wildlife.
Dartmoor is unique and special, firstly because of the wetlands that we have here and the wildlife that inhabits the wetlands, from endangered birds and amphibians to the little mammals that also inhabit the wetland.
Kuningi kade ngingakwazi kodwa sengiyakwazi manje. Njenganazo la water crane lawo inyoni lezi. Bengazi ukuthi zibaluleke kangakanani. Kodwa manje sengiyazi. Bengeke ngibone inyoni nje. Kodwa manje ngabona ukuthi hayi futhi lezi zinto zibalulekile. Lokho ngikufundile nje ukunakekela izilwane lezi.
The mountains with the red grass and the Orobi are special because the grasslands are dying out. The agriculture is taking over and habitat for these animals is declining. So looking after Dartmoor is a priority.
At Dartmoor, we're proving that conservation and livelihoods can coexist and thrive.
So we are very excited and very happy with this relationship that we have, and it's a lifetime relationship. And I do hope that it doesn't end with Carkloof, and we're also going to be identifying other areas of significance as well that we can partner and work together for the benefit of this province.
Wildlands pledge to apply community-centered approaches and deliver large-scale projects to protect biodiversity, species, and the environments in which they flourish. We pledge to collaborate with like-minded partners to deliver sustainable, nature-based solutions, empower communities, and inspire local action so that people and nature thrive.
We are
The wild.
The wild.
the wild, the wild.
We are the wild.
We are the wild.